All right, what's up, world? It's your boy, Drew Marcy, rap coach extraordinaire. How to Rap Drew, Almighty Bass Drew. What's going on? Today we're analyzing Cardi B's Bartier Cardi. Now, or Bartier, let me say it with some bouginess. All right, so this is a video where we're going to break down a little bit of how she is able to have such an active chorus, kind of a wordy chorus, but still make it very catchy, very memorable. I think that she kind of replaces the catchiness that would normally be in sort of a more simple chorus and puts that in the verse. So we're going to break this down. It's not one of those videos where you're supposed to come up in the comment box and be like, well, she has ghostwriters and I don't know who. They're like, bro, if that's what you're here to do, if you come in to slide in and hate, then just move on to the next one, because what we're doing here is we're analyzing the song structures and the way that you construct the environment of a track. As we like to say, a song is an environment. The way you construct it in a positive and sort of eye-opening way. So a lot of the stuff we cover here is going to be unexpected, well-done songwriting, and I think that that is the case here, no matter who wrote how much, when, whatever. I am a big Cardi B fan, as is Denzel Washington, by the way. I recently saw that. Shout out to Denzel and Cardi for getting that cosign. That's a big one. That's a big one. But we're going to break this down, and we'll talk a little bit about 21, all that. I really like this song. I remember the first time I heard it, I was like, damn. Like, there was that moment where we had the Bodak Yellow, and I was like, she needs another one. And this is pre the album, before the album was a big hit as well. I'm a super supporter of her. I think she's an infinite talent as an entertainer, outside of just the fact she can rap. So let's get into this. Bartier Cardi. One thing I do like about this beat, just a note, I think it's got that cool kind of, I don't even know what instrument that joint is. Maybe like a organ or something like that with a little effect. But I like how New York it feels. It reminds me of those old like Fab records, like the DJ Kane era, the DJ Clue era, or Paul Kane, sorry, DJ Clue era, where they always had those weird little like notes. And it's got a New York energy to it, but it's got the trap drums, and she handles it on a trap way, which is just, you know, given who she is, who she's aligned with, and given that she is basically Queen of New York at this very moment. Sorry, Nikki. You know, it's just a nice little touch. Modernness with the throwback for us East Coasters.
Your bitch want party with Cardi. Cardi a body in a Rari. Diamonds all over my body, shining all over my body. Cardi got your bitch on Molly. Bitch, you ain't gang, you lame. Billy truck laying the lane, blow up the brain. I go insane. I drop a check on the chain, fuck up a check in the flame. Cardi took your man, you.
All right, so we start with this very wordy kind of chorus, but when it drops, it almost feels like the verse. And this one really interesting thing about this track is, how do I write a chorus that feels like a verse or more bars, but still keep it somewhat catchy? And the way I see it, the way she does this, is the second half of the chorus, the offset, she kind of brings the catchiness on second half of the chorus. And as you probably know with our recent breakdowns, and maybe I'm discovering this about myself, big fan of two-part choruses, meaning choruses that have one section and then another completely different section to make it stick more. So one thing she's doing is having a wordy first half of the chorus, but then simplifying it on the second one. And she takes that even further in the verse, as we'll see in a second. Catchiness. He brings the catchiness back. All right, so this like that little, like that offbeat, that's going to be going throughout the entire song, and I believe that's a way to retain the catchiness, because as you'll hear in a second, the Cardi, and then of course, so she's using that offbeat, you know, that last thing, which is the A flow of this generation, but she's using that as a way to always come back to something that I can nod on or that people can dance to, and I find this to be a very good song for people to do those cool dance things you see and all that.
Who got this motherfucker started? God. Who took your bitch at the party? God. I took your bitch in the party. God. Who that be flags Martian? God. Who that don't flick in the cut? God. Who got them bricks in the truck? God. Then diamonds go hit like a bitch on a bitch ass bitch. Bitch, you a wanna be Cardi.
All right, so let's talk about this for a second. Now, first, me and my boy had this long conversation the other day about You know what they need to do more again is rappers need to have more theme songs that are just for them. Like we're thinking about like back in the day in our sort of generation, man, there was rappers would have number one hits or at least like top 10 hits that were all about themselves or just things you would sing along to with their name. H to the Izzo, V to the Izzy, number one record, and it's a song about Jay-Z. Like you have Jay-Z chanting his name. Fabulous, Fabolous. Not Nas I think has a couple like sort of Nas records. I just remember the days in which rappers would have these tracks that is a theme song for themselves. It's brilliant marketing, and I wish people would bring it back more often. Maybe it's a relic of the past. I think that Kanye does it a little bit, even if there's not like a song that's called Kanye. I guess he has missed the old Kanye, but he's always constantly saying his own name and different versions of it. And this is a marketing tactic. This is a marketing tactic. If I can get an entire crowd to sing my name, I'm not chanting about the crowd. I'm not saying we in here. I'm saying chant my name. Trust me, somebody going to be buying the record. Somebody going to be wearing the clothes. Somebody going to be watching the advertising campaign. So this is the first tactic she's using that's really brilliant. And I do wish more rappers would kind of bring that back. I mean, this song itself is named after her, right? So I think that from a marketing aspect, it's really good for all the artists watching. And I got to start doing this. Let me try to get a How to Rap Drew song called How to Rap Drew and make it tight. Like, that's a good creative challenge for myself and for anybody who's trying to, get your name out there. Can you write your own personal theme song and make it hot enough people want to sing along to it? So there's that. Similarly, the effect that she's using, it's the call and response that we always talk about. She throws in those doubles, those triples, Cardi, to make it sound like something a crowd is supposed to chant. It sounds like a chant. One of the greatest ways to get a crowd to chant is in the record, mix it in a way that sounds like a crowd is chanting. So when I'm doing my records, I'm often, adding 3-4 doubles, maybe add some voice, loon in a Lambo, whatever it is, 100x. I'm doing these vocal tones and mixing it in a way that I want a crowd to feel like they should chant along with it, right? La, 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 wait till I get my money right. You throw some doubles on that chorus to make it in a way that people want to sing along to it, and it feels like I'm going to be part of the crowd and I'm going to sing along with it. So just a very good tactic as well. She holds it for an entire 8 bars, and it's really a great way to really solidify it. And this is the verse. This is the verse. This is not the chorus, and she's still retaining catchiness. All right, so she switches the flow after 8 bars.
Walking through your clique, I'm moonwalking in the 650 with the kid, moon rocks in this bitch. I'm from the motherfucking bro.
She's getting into that flow, man. Another thing I really like about this is just she's really doing like advanced level rap, no matter who wrote it, whatever it is. This can't be left just out there. We can't just not say she was killing the flow there, especially given the fact that it comes right after Bodak Yellow, which has a more direct flow. Obviously a huge record, and obviously a flow that was inspired by Kodak Black, another artist. So I really appreciate the change in tone.
Bronx, I keep the pump in the trunk. Bitch, if you bad, then jump. Might leave your bitch in the slump. Your bitch want party with Cardi. Cartier Bardi in a Rari. Diamonds all over my body, shining all over my body.
So again, by spacing out the flow that way and having that verse be so kind of call and response based, when we return back to this wordy chorus, it feels like the energy is pumped back up, in a good way, in a very catchy kind of way.
Cardi got your bitch on Molly. Bitch, you ain't gang, you lame. Billy truck laying the lane. Blow up the brain. I go insane.
I also like the fact that 21's ad-libs are throughout the entire track. Obviously, it's one of the most famous ad-libs of this generation. But one of my biggest pet peeves in rap is when rappers have features and you don't hear the voice of the rapper. The featured rapper until literally like 2 seconds before they start rapping, and then you only hear them after, or maybe on the at the end in the outro, like, yeah, it's so and so, right? Because it feels so produced. I like much more features that are organic, and even if it's just as simple as they were like, just throw 21 in the beginning choruses and stuff like that, it feels so much more natural when he comes into it.
I drop a check on the chain, fuck up a check in the flame. Credit to your man, you upset. Cardi got rich, they upset. Yeah, Cardi put the pussy on offset. Cardi be brain on offset. Credit to your man, you upset. Cardi got rich, they upset. Yeah, Cardi put the pussy on offset. Cardi be brain on offset.
Your bitch wanna
Last thing, just about branding as well, by having literally her husband, her baby daddy, all that in the chorus, more branding. So you've listened to 1 minute and 41 seconds. You've already, if you're messing with the song, you've already chanted her name multiple times. The song is called her name. Her husband, Power Couple Swag, is in the track. Is mentioned in the track. He's in the video, of course, a little later on. It's just, again, from a pure marketing aspect. So how can we as artists always be dropping little hints to our other business entities? And obviously their relationship's much deeper than just a business entity, but from a marketing aspect, it's brilliant. And I think that if I was the A&R, if I'm the manager, if I'm whoever, I'm like, good, yes, branding.
Party with a savage, 21. Saint Laurent Savage in the Aston, yeah. High-end cars and fashion, 21. I don't eat pussy, I'm fast, on God. I'm a blood, my brother crippin', bitch, I'm drippin', ho, you trippin'. Told the waitress I ain't tippin', I like hot sauce on my chick, on God.
One thing I like about 21 Savage features is that he never steps out of his own lane. His flow is so specific and so a certain kind of tempo that he brings the track into his world, right? He said, like, Young Thug does the same thing. Like, they don't try to play somebody else's game. It's like a athlete where, when you're playing this team that maybe has this really specific running game, they're only going to play that running game, and you're going to have to adjust. So I think this is a good choice of a feature. We'll probably cover Rockstar with Post in a minute, and a very similar energy. But I think it was a great choice, and to put him in the middle was smart too, because then when she get back to the fast flow on verse 3, it just feels that much more energetic because we've had the chilled back flow of 21.
I put a rubber off and I put hot sauce on her titty. 21. I'm in a Bentley truck.
I don't know what's going on with this video, by the way.
All these VVS's, nigga, my sperm work. Me on God. The bitch so bad, I popped a Miley before I hit it.
This video is crazy though. Like, I'm like, what is going? It's like a 70s porn movie kind of. It's kind of weird, but I mean, it's well shot, but I'm just like, what is happening? There goes Offset.
Cardi be brain on offset. Credit to your man, you upset. Cardi got rich, they upset. Yeah, Cardi put the pussy on offset. Cardi be brain on offset. Step in this bitch at your bench. Fuck up a check in your bench. Also the coupe and the.
All right, there we go again with the offbeat. So in this case, she's doing sort of the Migos-esque cash, right? The background. This is the first time she's used the ad-lib with that effect, that delay in the background. So it's just another way to keep stacking. We're big how to rap song breakdowns. We're big ad-lib breaker downers. You know what I'm saying? The usage of ad-libs in 2018 is so important, and it really fills out the song. And I'm glad ad-libs are back, as I've said before. In the early thousands, ad-libs were extremely important, the Dipsets of the world, things like that. And then it kind of died out. Partially Drake, Kanye, these were artists. Those were some of the biggest artists, and they weren't using it. T.I. is another guy in the thousands that was just ad-lib master. It died down from about 08 to like 15, and then once you had Migos start to do it, and some other cats, then it's come back. So I always like to hip us to in these breakdowns the ad-lib parts.
Inches, I fuck up a bag at the Fendi, I fuck up a bag in a minute. Who you know drip like this? Who you know build like this? I'm popping shit like a dude. Pull up and pop at your crew.
Popping at you.
They say you basic.
All right, so that is a really important part. We're at verse 3, bars 1 through 8. She's messing up the flow, killing it, like just fucking it up, tearing it up, right? Then we're gonna go into another section of flow at bar 8. So we basically split the verse in half. And one really good tactic that she uses here and that we can use as artists is there a way I can do a cool sound effect or something that kind of keeps me engaged? It's almost like if you had zoned out from bars 4 to 8 when she was doing her little thing, you know what I mean? Then she come back, whoo, popping a chew. And you're like, oh, okay. We still in it.
I flirt at the rollie with diamonds, I flirt at the paddock and bracelet. I got your bitch and she naked. Ice on the cake when I bake it. I'm switching lanes in the range. Sup at the dick for the brain. Sup at your bitch for your main. Sup at the trap for the fame. I saw them Cardi B, Cardi a frame. Your bitch want party with Cardi.
Yeah, so she doesn't do many ad-libs on that second half. She just letting that flow ride. And I think that's an interesting production choice. If I was in the studio, I would, let me say it this way, we would have a conversation as a team, as the producers of the record, and be like, yo, do we need these ad-libs? She didn't even do many doubles on that second half. Or do we let it ride? It turns out on this final product that letting it ride and just letting her rap is fantastic. It works. But I could tell you straight up, and we have these conversations in the booth all the time, and I know in my case what I would do is record entire things, doubles, and just take them in and out and see what sounds better. But I would definitely probably fall into that trap of wanting to be like, yo, you should make some noise in the background. We got noises the whole track, blah, 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 blah. But it works really well. So I'll be continuing to listen to this track, especially verse 3, and just be like, how did they know not to put any ad-libs there? That was genius. I mean, that was really good.
Cartier, Bartier, and a Rari. Diamonds all over my body, shining all over my body. Cardi got your bitch on Molly. Bitch, you ain't gang, you lame. Billy truck laying the lane, blow out the brain. I go insane. I drop a check on the chain, fuck up a check in the flame.
And they just let the chorus ride there.
Cardi got rich, they upset.
Genius.
Cardi put the pussy on offset.
And we're at 3 minutes 30 seconds, which is these days almost long for a rap track, but it works. It works.
Cardi be brain on offset. Cardi took your man, you upset. Cardi got rich, they upset. Yeah. Cardi put the pussy on offset. Cardi be brain on offset.
Yeah. So there we go. There we have it. Bartier Cardi. Great song. Goes hard. Some people have different opinions on that. That's fine. In the comments, if you have a critique of the track or a reason that you didn't mess with it, feel free to comment. Let us know. All we ask is that it comes from a place of how do we analyze this as a song structure, as a community? What can we learn from this? If you don't like it, tell us why and why you think you don't like it, and what we can learn, or what would have been better. Whether that's verse 3, I thought they should have had ad-libs, or the Cardi wasn't great, or whatever. If you have a differing opinion, just make sure that give us a reason, because we want to make sure that we're fostering productive conversation here. I'm not going to be covering a lot of records that I don't like, because I just don't see the point in it. I don't want to. First of all, I'm not trying to hate, but two, it's if I didn't like the record, I didn't learn anything from it. So why would I post it for y'all? I don't think that's productive. So we're going to be covering tracks that there's something new or something challenging. And I think on this record, there's a lot of challenging parts. I think that she challenged my ear as a rapper, as a songwriter, by having such an active first half of the chorus, but then bringing it back with the second half of the chorus. I think she challenged me by using that offbeat in an original way. It just wasn't just, hey, da-da-da-da, hey, or da-da-da-da, yeah. So she has saying her name. Some good effects here. The 21 Savage feature slowed it down in a good way, and putting him on verse 2, thought that was great. And overall, some just great branding. I think we can learn a lot from branding on this one. So that's Bartier Cardi. Might do Bodak Yellow at some point. That's another great one. Both of these records, when I first heard them, I knew they were amazing. Or I knew that they would chart well. That's not the case with every record. Some songs blow up, and I'm just like, I don't get it, or this would be a better choice for a single. But really good stuff. Big Cardi B fan. Let me know what y'all think. Be sure to follow me on Twitter at HowToRapDrew. I'll be just streaming consciousness. I'm hella active on there now. And of course my Instagram at HowToRapDrew. That's another big one. We try and get them IG numbers up, get some deals in. Thank you for watching. It's the big homie Drew. I'm out.